Hey, how's it going? My name's Keenan Hatch. I recently finished the D564 class for WGU. It's about personalities. Why I decided to make this video was because I didn't see a whole lot of videos in past classes that I've done. It's been really helpful to see other people's experiences with the class. And so I really wanted to make one for future people going through this class, help you guys out. So how this class works is there's the course material if you're new to WGU, and then there's the cohorts, and then there is your course instructor. The course instructor did not make the test, and they did not make the course material. So they were basically just handed the course material and told what subjects would be on the test, which is basically just what's on the course material, and what's the key concepts are, the competencies, and so they're there to help. I did a call with my instructor and talked about how it all worked, and she was very helpful. So I would suggest doing that if you haven't. Also, I guess what you need to know for the class, there's quite a few different things. I just took the test. It talks a lot about Maslow, Freud, Alder, the Big Five. They're called the Big Five. 5 factors. Yeah. Anyways, the Big 5 factors, which is like agreeableness and openness, a few others. And then talks about humanistic and biology. What I did was, I looked at the course material a little bit, scanned through it, realized that it'd be a lot of textbook reading. A lot of it was just a brief summary, then, hey, go read these 3 chapters or whatever. That would take a long time, and I'm a quick solution kind of guy. So what I did was I did the pretest. Obviously I failed, but then I watched a few YouTube videos on the different subjects that I saw. I went to the sheet. There's a sheet on there that's all just about the theorists. It's called a comprehensive guide or something like that, mnemonic guide, something like that, of the different theorists and their theories, and that was very helpful. Just use those guys, and then look at the theories underneath and look at YouTube videos for those. I will link some of the YouTube videos that I thought were worthwhile in the description. After I freshened up on my knowledge a little bit, I went to take my pretest a second time, but I didn't take it as see how much I know. I took it to see how much I don't know, and I just went through every question, and every question that I didn't know the concept completely, I would ask ChatGPT or Gemini, which are both great. Gemini, you can do the voice conversation for free, and that was very helpful. You can just have a conversation back and forth. ChatGPT can teach you all of the things, or Gemini can teach you all the things that you're struggling with. So it's like having a teacher sitting right next to you, and the voices aren't crazy weird or anything. So I used that, and then I'd go through every question, and probably got through about 2/3 of it by the time that my time limit. So I think it's 2 hours or something that you get for the pretest. So it took me 2 hours to get through learning 2/3 of the test, and then I finally took the pretest again. Luckily, the order is pretty much the same, so I was able to use my notes from the last one to rush through the first 2/3, and then start learning the last third, and writing notes and asking Gemini and ChatGPT. They're not always correct. Well, they're basically always correct, but don't always give the answer that the test is looking for. So after you're done with your learning on the pretest, then you can go back in and highlight the ones that you missed, and find those right answers. It'll only be a handful of questions, because Gemini is pretty good. So yeah, that's what I did mostly, and then figured I wanted to know how close I was to understanding everything and being able to pass the test. So I decided to take the test for the first time, and it was actually a lot easier than I thought. It went into Maslow in the hierarchy of needs, pretty in depth. So it talks about scenarios. So like, for example, there was one question where it was a guy isn't fulfilled in his work, doesn't feel great at work, but when he comes home, he has a lot of great friends and a lot of good family surrounding him, basically. And so obviously in the hierarchy of needs, he is safe. The physical safety, safe, and then physical safety, is that right? Might be physical safety and then safety, and then love, and then esteem, right? So obviously he had that love part covered with his family and friends. So if you see that, then you're like, well, obviously it's not that, and it's not the ones below it. Because if you have one, then the rest below are covered. So he had love. So obviously the next one is esteem. And that kind of fit with the work scenario. So it'll go into depth with hierarchy of needs. There's tons of questions about Maslow, at least on mine there was. I guarantee everyone will cover Maslow. Might not go into as much depth as mine did. Same with Freud. Every single test, I guarantee, will have Freud on it, but it might not go into the depth. Mine was a lot of Freud and a lot of Maslow. There's quite a bit of Adler in there too. He is obviously a big player as well. There was also, I had not as much as Maslow and Freud, but there was a lot of, what's his name? Rogers in there, talking about humanistic, theory, I guess. And then there's biology, and biological theory. That's a good nature versus nurture. So humanistic and stuff, and then there's the nature, which is more of the biology stuff, and genetics and what comes from what. Mostly talked about different theorists that were more from the biology side. I did a lot of which of these guys is not the answer, to find the answer, because I don't have everyone memorized yet. I will someday. But yeah, it was easier than I thought, and I would use the whiteboard and the expo marker. I'd write down every question, the answers, unless it was like crazy easy, but I'd write down the kind of like what is this question trying to say? Because a lot of the questions are worded like nuts, knowing that no one speaks like these questions. But I'd write down what is the question trying to say, and then the answers. Sometimes the answers are long, so what are the answers trying to say? And then take out the ones that you don't think are right, and then, the good old-fashioned test-taking skills. The other thing that I would say is I saw on the course website, it talks about concrete words that are like never or always in the answers. It said that there's very few things in psychology that are always or never. There's normally exceptions to everything. And so a lot of the answers that have very concrete answers normally are not the answer. And there might be some exceptions to that, but for the majority of the time, those won't be the answer. So I'd look out for those. So yeah, in summary, pretest. Write out your questions, you take your time. Most of the time, if you just dissect the question, it's pretty common sense stuff. If you know your theorists in a general way. So yeah, pretest, and then write your questions down. Maslow, Freud, Alder, Big Five, humanistic, and biological theory. And going into it, I thought I was going to fail, and it turned out to be pretty easy. Hopefully this gives you kind of a place to go, a place to start. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. I'll add those YouTube videos in the description. If this helped you out, then please like and subscribe. I will only post every once in a while, and it'll only be WGU stuff. So and have a great day, and hopefully you can pass this course pretty darn fast. See you later.